G'day there, I'm Snake of Bacon, and this is Mousebot Escape from Cat Lab, a game where you are a mouse robot and you collect cheese while dodging deadly obstacles. Your main mission is simple: guide the Mousebot through the maze. Get from point A to point B. These are unicursal mazes. You won't get lost, you will get cheese. You can think of it like Crash Bandicoot, except instead of a bandicoot with shoes and pants, you're an articulated robot mouse with 4 wheels and no brakes. To begin with, there are no hazards, letting you get to grips with Mousebot's handling, which is extremely simple and intuitive. Mousebot just carves around corners like a cutlass through camembert. The handling's great. In the next 87 mazes, the cats have littered the stage with things that will kill you. For starters, of course, there's the classic cheese-filled spring-loaded mousetrap. It never worked on Jerry, and with the benefit of hindsight, it won't work on Mousebot. They're very obvious, and the danger zone's very small. You can drive straight over the back half without setting these traps off. We're still basically in the tutorial when they introduce massive crushing machines and a cheesy path between them. Of course, later they work out to put the cheese under the crushers, add some risk to the reward. These cats understand your compulsion for cheese. You may survive U-turns, but no guarantees. If that doesn't get you, look what's in store later. Saw blades and lasers and rolling cheese graters. Open water, what can you do? Luckily, you are a mouse boat, too. You can dip under death lines and skirt around sea mines. Once you've acquired enough expertise, nothing can stop you from getting the cheese. Cheese. I love cheese, and that's my first reason for buying the game, but I have 2 better ones. It is secondly cheaper than cheese, and thirdly developed by Vector Unit. Vector Unit is a very small studio that make very good racing games, particularly on water. Besides Beach Buggy Racing and Riptide GP Renegade shown here, I've also played Riptide GP2 and Hydro Thunder Hurricane. Every game I've played by Vector Unit is heaps of fun. Mousebot is no exception. It is a simple game, of course. It was, after all, designed for mobiles. Nearly every Vector Unit game is available on mobiles, whether it's a paid game or a free game, like Beach Buggy or Mousebot. Mousebot's a free mobile game, but this premium console and PC release that costs a few dollars has many benefits. For starters, of course, being able to use a controller instead of touchscreen controls, but also things like trophies and even the game having more objectives to let you earn more cheese, rather than being asked to watch an ad for bonus cheese. There's also no microtransactions in the premium version, whereas in the mobile game, some skins do cost money. Skins. How could I forget? At any time between levels, insert 100 cheese, plunger comes down, get a new aesthetic. Blue stripes on white, that's a very good look. A blue stripe on white just looks nice. I mean, look at the 10 ball in Pure Pool. It's a winning combination. It's beautiful. Of course, a white stripe on blue can look very nice too, like in the C4 Corvette Grand Sport, but we can't do that in Mousebot. What we can do is wear hats and other accessories. You can coordinate a nice look for yourself. I had a green thing going on, but then I won a cow print skin. I love it. Excellent. And then I won a chef hat. You can't get a better combo than that. Well, maybe you can, but I found my favourite. You'll find yours too. There's 37 skins and 27 different items to go with them, which makes, neatly enough, 999 combinations exactly. There's a decent difficulty curve to the game. I found no unusual spikes, just a gentle progression from easy to moderately challenging. Certainly the last few dozen levels you will likely not complete perfectly on your first go, and I imagine playing this on a touchscreen would be extremely difficult, but with a stick and a button and bumpers to side shift, no worries. But of course, that's just completing the game. There's more to do than that. There's getting all the cheese, which I've done, and all the heart chips, which give you more lives, but they're placed in awkward locations. Another little Easter eggs, literal Easter eggs, and besides that, completing levels without dying. And then, time challenges. I was shocked to get that one, because I didn't win any of the time challenges in my first 5 hours of the game. When I started the game, I was finding every objective to be really easy except the target times. which, after many attempts at level 1, I figured the time was so hard to beat that it must be something you do after you finish the game when you unlock a boost button or something to get that extra half second that I seem to need. It turns out there is no boost button, so after I finished the game I gave it another 20 attempts and, by a fluke, finally got it. I suppose you just need to really perfectly cut the corners, but it's mysterious, it's nebulous, there's no ghosts and there's no split time, so it's very hard to get feedback on how your run's going. You just need to cut extremely close, and jumping in a straight line appears to make you faster. I don't know, my times would vary by a few tenths of a second, and you don't have tenths of a second to play with. After over 20 attempts, I only just managed to beat level 2's target time by 0.0 of a second. Slim Tolerances is putting it mildly. Only once did I beat a level's target time the first time I completed it without dying, and only by 1/100th of a second, so perhaps the later levels with more traps are a bit more lenient. Still, if you find them too easy, you should probably be playing Trackmania Turbo instead. I think I may have finally figured out Track 163, I just need a few hundred more attempts. Mousebot is nowhere near that league of difficulty, but when between tries you go from 56.99 to 56.98, with no idea what you did better or worse, it's not the best game for speedrunning. You can pause to look at your time, but that's it. Well, what else can I tell you? Mousebot Escape from Cat Lab has a first-person mode, so you can really feel like a Mousebot, until you hit a laser and watch your own head fall off, which makes the camera position a bit ambiguous. Once you've finished the game, you also unlock Arcade Mode, where you can attempt to run through as many of the game's levels as you can, with a limited set of lives at extremely high speed. Your score is your cheese. How much cheese can you pick up? You can find extra lives within the levels, and you also get one for every 100th cheese. My best score is 283, although I only tried twice. In conclusion, while Mousebot works well as a casual mobile game, I think it works better as a casual console game. And sure, you can't pick up your console and put it in your pocket unless you're playing on Switch and you have huge pockets. But on PS4 or PS5 in this case, it is the fastest launching game I've ever seen. From system menu to game menu in 2 seconds, and the levels load instantaneously, and I'm sure on a PS4 hard drive it's not much slower than that either, because the game's only 67 megabytes. That means you can download it in, well, it depends on your internet speed. If you can watch this video in HD on your Wi-Fi, and your console's on the same Wi-Fi, then I'm sure you can download the game in less than a minute. Got a Cat 5 cable? 20 seconds. Live in New Zealand and have gigabit internet? I don't know, -2 seconds. I can't even imagine gigabit internet, you lucky Kiwis. 50 megabits per second is already amazing. But anyway, Mousebots. It's the pre-game game. Don't know what to play? Sit down, launch Mousebot. Takes a few seconds, play Mousebot, then think about what you're doing next. Already done something and you're still sitting there? Like you just finished watching something on a streaming service on your console and you don't know what to do now? Get out of the app. Don't look at other things you can watch. Put on Mousebot. Show your friends. Mousebot. Tell them to watch Snake of Bacon Mousebot. Other reviews, lots of good stuff. And if you're in the playlist with all my reviews in it, the next one is for a golf game, or if you're in the other playlist with my reviews in reverse order, the next one is for a Brazilian puzzle game. Floris van Dijk painted this particular banqueteer in 1610. This is only a detail focusing on the upper right of the image, and the star attraction, of course, being the cheese, which we can tell by its large yellow face. The knife is pointing at it. There is a glass obscuring the edge of the cheese, showing a remarkable eye for transparency. The painter was really just showing off. And Snake of Bacon signing out. Beautiful cheese.